So I know this video is going to be about, one of my favorite projects that I'm currently working on, and that is the Hobocop2. But before we get to the actual video, I want to address somebody. Of course, I'm talking about BST Ford, more specifically in response to one of his videos where he was discussing my departure from YouTube. That competition ain't over, man. I'm a man of my word. And although, yes, I might be absent from YouTube and I might not be as active as I used to be, you guys can rest assured, especially you, BST, this competition ain't over. There will be some slight changes to the formula. I've discussed this in some previous videos, but I will address it when the time comes. You know what? That's it. I'm talking too much. I'm giving out too much information. This competition is still on. Keep that grind going. Keep that grind going, because this ain't over. This ain't over. We're going to take these cars to the track, and we're going to prove once and for all who has the best backyard, junkyard, Cobra Roush, replica, tribute car. Man, I'm not even worried about the wording at this point, but it's still on. Enjoy the video. What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Random, and this is the Hobocop2. You guys are looking at quite possibly the most hated Crown Victoria in all of the internet. Partially due because it has the oh so expensive Mercury Marauder rear bumper along with a full Marauder front end conversion, besides the obviously absent front bumper. Now, there's a reason why this front bumper is missing. That's because I plan on turning this seamless, uninspiring old Panther platform design into the ultimate off-road overlanding vehicle. When this car is done, I plan on driving it out to the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to try to survive for an entire day with nothing more than what I can actually bring on my off-road Vic. Speaking of the things that are going to be on my overlanding trip, let's go ahead and talk about the gear that's currently on the Hobocop2. All right, now real quick, along with what the future gear and mods you guys can expect to see in this mofo in upcoming videos, I want you to keep 3 words in mind when you look at this car, and that is function over form. So where the hell do we even begin with this thing? You know what? Let's start with a roof rack. The good old roof rack. Now here we have a basic Walmart off-the-shelf roof rack. It's cheap and fairly durable for its intended purpose, which is just pretty much holding up a full 17-inch police interceptor steely on top. Installing it was fairly easy, especially since I decided to go with the low-profile, quote-unquote, rackless install, which means I didn't install the extra tall mounting side racks, which make it harder to not only reach my roof-mounted spare tire, but also reduces the already terrible wind drag this thing is gonna have. Next up, we have these freaking brighter than my future 60-watt roof-mounted LED light pods. Considering the fact that I plan on surviving for an entire night inside this old cop car in the middle of the Tennessee woods, I figured it would be a good idea to have as much lighting as possible. And that's where these massive 7x7-inch 60-watt LED pods / floodlights come in handy. Installing these bad boys was pretty straightforward. Just drill a few mounting holes on your roof, remove your headliner, feed the stud through, and tighten the son of a preacher down as hard as you can. All right, now before I continue, I just want to put out a quick little disclaimer because I know I'm not going to hear the end of it in the comment section. I want you guys to keep in mind that a lot of these mods are still a work in progress, which is why some of the wiring, amongst other things, isn't really fully installed yet. If I'm going to keep it real with you guys, at this point, I would have gone way over 3 months, given my current work schedule, to present to you guys an even close to cleaned up version of what my future vision for this car is. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on up to the next modification, and that is a push bar mounted oil cooler. Now, if I stand corrected here, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm the first owner of this Gen Panther, not the first one, not the aero body, of this Gen Panther with an actual freaking push bar mounted oil cooler. Let me know if I'm the first to do it, guys. Was it a pain in the ass to kind of figure out how to set this thing up? Yep. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Now, as far as mods go, this one's pretty straightforward. An oil cooler does just that. Keeps the engine's oil, well, cool. In this case, mounting it on the outside of the vehicle where it could come in direct contact with fresh airflow just made the most sense. And what better place to mount it than on this sick ass push bar? You know I gotta give a big shout out to Mitchell, aka the Cromvic Guru, for providing the bar. For this next modification that this bad boy has, it's by far one of my favorite pieces of gear on this vehicle right here. And that is this almost 9 foot tall, if not even taller, Tennessee Highway Patrol. Yes, actual Tennessee Highway Patrol whip antenna. Yet another gift from the Cromvic Guru himself. This whip antenna, along with full mounting base, could be found all through the old THP Cromvics. Overlanding and off-roading in general can sometimes put you in places where it can be hard to make contact with anyone on the outside world. And that's where this Freedom Tower of an antenna is going to come in handy when I'm done with it. For those of you with a keen eye, you've probably noticed these big ass hooks sitting in the front of the crash bar on this damn thing. These mofos came off a freaking Jeep Wrangler, and their sole purpose is to provide a winching or strapping point to get the car pulled out of sticky situations. The car is currently equipped with 2-inch spacers all the way around, which will provide enough room for the lift kit along with some sick off-road tires that will soon be fitted on the Hobocop2. The car also does have a set of 4 Rhino-lined mud flaps that will keep all the rocks and debris away from my literal $100 paint job. So we can't forget just having straight up just essential gear for any off-road situation, especially given the fact that this isn't a 4-wheel drive car, this is a rear-wheel drive car. So we can't build an off-road overlanding Crown Victoria without some essential, and I mean definitely essential, off-roading gear and tools. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Such as a shovel to dig your ass out of when you get stuck, because you will get stuck. And once you're done digging, these recovery boards provide the traction and grip you need to bring it all together. This car is still a major work in progress. From the unfinished, fully functional snorkel that will eventually be going through the fender into the air intake, to a multitude of other gear and mods that will eventually make their way onto this car. Remember, the goal is to spend an entire night camping in this thing out in the middle of the Tennessee wilderness. Some of the future mods for the Hobocop2 include a lift kit, off-road tires, and a weird mod. It's going to be a backseat, fully inflatable bed made just for sedans. Speaking of this shovel, besides digging you out, this is a great survival tool. The reason I have two of them, well, there we go. It's because I plan on having more than one person with me when I go off-roading and adventuring on this damn thing, because you better believe I'm gonna get stuck and I'm gonna get lost. But it already has some kind of compass, and then there's different compartments. But you open up the first compartment and it's got either got a flathead screwdriver or you got a Phillips head screwdriver. You also got some flint and steel, and this also functions as a whistle. But wait, there's more. This mofo actually functions as a freaking sharp ass knife. You can also use it as a harpoon if you have to fish, and a bottle opener as well. And the actual shovel piece itself, this part is pointy and sharp. This is serrated in case you got to use it as a saw. You got another bottle opener, and you got different hex sizes as well. This thing is just a must have. That's why I got two of them. And as you guys saw, it all goes right back together. You can also use the hollow interior of the shovel to store some waterproof matches. Hell, this whole thing is waterproof. It has a water seal here where once you turn it in, this whole interior of this keeps everything nice and tight and waterproof. And the piece de resistance, the pièce de resistance, I'm putting some paracord here. You see just some basic mounts that I have here. Storing these things is actually pretty damn easy. Just literally just put it in these holders here. And that closes out right there. Those suckers ain't going nowhere. Now, a couple of you guys are wondering what the hell these metal things in the back of the trunk are, and if it hasn't become obvious yet, these are actual jerry can holders. This can hold up to, I believe it's 10 gallons. 10 gallons each, 10-gallon container, jerry can container. They're just expensive as hell, the actual containers themselves, which is why this thing sits empty right now. But this thing is as sturdy as can be. You're gonna be going out there in the woods in the middle of nowhere. You definitely don't want to run out of fuel, and that's where these bad boys are here. They come in handy for sure. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. The next time you see the Hobocop2, she's going to be sitting on a 1.5 or even 2-inch lift with a full set of aggressive off-road tires, and she's going to be fully ready to tackle the Tennessee wilderness. And you better believe I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. It just might take a while, but it's going to be one hell of an adventure. We're going to see if it's possible to go off-roading, to go extreme off-roading with an old, outdated Panther platform. If we succeed, it'll just add to the list of things that these cars are absolutely capable of doing, and why I have so many of these things. Just bear with me. There's a lot I'm working on. It's just going to require some time. But either way, it's your boy, Mr. Random. Like you guys saw at the beginning of the video, don't lose faith, don't lose hope. I got something in the works for the Cobra Rush Crown Vic, but for now, this is going to be my reintroduction to YouTube. Slowly, I'm very busy, but I still think about you guys. I still have a passion for these cars. Actually, I have an obsession with these cars, and I will always be the Panther King. Catch you guys in the next one.
Sí, Cali, junto a Chandy, Before the End Record, porque decidiste tu propio camino y yo por el mío. No te quiero en mi vida y tú siempre te fuiste buscándolo a él. Y tú siempre supiste lo que tú tenías, por eso te fui yo muy fiel. Por eso vete, que te vaya bien y buena suerte. Tú me usaste como un juguete, porque ya no quiero ya tenerte. Por eso vete, que te vaya bien y buena suerte. Tú me usaste como un juguete, porque ya no quiero ya tenerte. Los momentos más bellos me la pasé junto yo a ti. Tú te fuiste al carajo y te fuiste muy lejos de mí. No te quiero en mi vida y tú siempre tú juegas así. Y el amor que te daba tú sabes que siempre te di. te di, recordando lo mucho que tú me decías, los planes que siempre tú me prometías, el amor que te daba y lo feliz que te hacía, y esta agonía que siempre crecía. Pasaban los meses, pasaban los días, y ahora tú vienes que siempre me buscas, te vas y me dejas dolor en mi vida y recuerdo que queda cuando fuiste mía. Solo me usaste y te marchaste. De mi vida te fuiste y solo me ilusionaste. Solo me usaste y te marchaste. Decidiste tú irte y no te importó mi dolor. Por eso vete, que te vaya bien y buena suerte. Tú me usaste como un juguete, porque ya no quiero ya tenerte. Por eso vete, que te vaya bien y buena suerte. Tú me usaste como un juguete, porque ya no quiero ya tenerte. Ahora tú vienes, regresas y luego te vas. Es como las olas del mar y que vienen y luego se van. En tu juego, en tu trampa no caigo yo más. Sacaste tus alas, te fuiste muy alto a volar. Llegó otra a mi vida y me da su cariño que nunca tú hiciste jamás. Y tus recuerdos yo voy a olvidar. Ahora yo puedo vivir yo sin ti. No quiero que sepas nada tú de mí. Todo te di lo que te prometí, y tú sabes que siempre yo lo cumplí. Decidiste tú irte por tu camino, y ahora yo sigo por el mío. Así que lo quiso nuestro destino, y mi corazón ya te supo. Por eso vete, que te vaya bien y buena suerte. Tú me usaste como un juguete, porque ya no quiero ya tenerte. Por eso vete, que te vaya bien y buena suerte. Tú me usaste como un juguete, porque ya no quiero ya tenerte. Yo, sí, Cali, babe. Chandy, B40M Record, The High Tower, somos los de la Torre Alta. Porque decidiste tú irte por tu mismo camino, ¿viste? Y yo por el mío. Que te vaya bien y que Dios te bendiga. Sí, Cali.